let us understand about shell scripting and most importantly how and where shell scripting is used in DevOps. Because our focus is on DevOps, we will try to see how and where shell scripting is used in DevOps. But before that, let us understand little basics of shell scripting, right. So, we know that we have seen the architecture of Linux. We have hardware, on top we have kernel, and on top we have shell, right. So, shell is used to communicate with the OS, right. So, we use this shell programming or shell scripting, a kind of language or a program which we use to communicate with the operating system. So, users communicate with the OS through this shell, right, which interprets and executes command entered in the terminal. This shell acts as an intermediary between the user and the kernel, right. So, whatever user is giving the inputs, it is given through a scripting language, that is shell scripting. That shell scripting is taken or understood by the shell and it is given to the, or it is explained to the kernel. So, kernel understands the instruction, processes it and gives back the response, right. So, building on this interaction model, shell scripting allows users to combine multiple commands into a single file. The advantage of scripting, see, we can give individual commands. I want to know the current working directory, I can use this pwd simply, or I also want to know the disk space, how much available, def, du, I want to use these things, right. So, all these commands can be kept in a single file and we can execute them at a time, right. So, that is the benefit what we get using shell scripting. So, we have basically two types, command line and graphical shell. So, we will be seeing about command line and even graphical shell scripting is also available. And common shell programs, yes, this is one very important concept in shell scripting. See, Linux supports multiple shell programs, it supports multiple different shell programs, right. Every programs, all these various flavors, they do same task, they do the same task, but they differ in syntax and little small differences in syntax and features, right. So, very popularly used shell programs, first one is bash, right, very popular and much widely used is bash, right. So, born again shell, so this is the name of the person, so on his name we have born again shell, right. So, it is used as default login shell in Linux systems, bash. And then also we have C shell, right, it is very similar to C program. Another one is con shell, right, it is base for POSIX, mainly for servers, okay. So, some typical servers are there which use this con shell, right. So, these three are different types of flavors of shell programs what we have. So, we will be focusing more on the bash, okay. So, what is a shell script? So, shell script is essentially a text file containing a series of commands that the shell can interpret and execute, and they have an extension .sh, right. So, simple like this, my script.sh, the extension of shell scripting is .sh, okay. Now, let us understand how and where this shell scripting is widely used in DevOps, okay. Why are we studying this shell scripting in DevOps? As we discussed that but simple example is creating Docker containers, right. This is the Docker image, then loading it into the container, everything is done through scripts. We write some scripts, again we not script, but I will say we use shell programming basically, okay. Now, using shell commands I can do that, but manually doing every time is difficult. So, we write some scripts, okay, right. See, instead of doing task manually, engineers write shell scripts to automate repetitive tasks such as deployment, monitoring, system configuration, etc. So, I want to deploy, see, you are writing one program, you wrote it, you want to test it. For testing, you have to deploy it and then test it, okay. You made a change, then you deployed. Again, you found some error, you came back, you changed, you want to test it, you deployed it. Some error is there, again change it. So frequently doing manual task is difficult. If you write a script, it will automatically do. You just have to execute it once, right? So that's what shell scripting. We will see different purpose or usage of shell scripting in DevOps. The first one, automation of repetitive tasks, right? See, DevOps engineer always do, we are talking about three things here: DevOps plus cloud plus automation, right? So DevOps engineers focus on automating things like installing software, creating users, deploying applications, running backups, right? These two are very, very important. Maybe creating users, one time task, or maybe very rarely we do, but deploying applications, running, creating backup every day at a particular time, right? So we do lot of automation tasks, right? So without scripting, these tasks must be done manually, okay, which is a typical and challenging task if you do it manually. So we write some automation scripts using this shell, right? So example, instead of manually installing software on 20 servers, a script can install it on all servers automatically. You write one script and just execute it, it will install in all the servers automatically. So automation is one usage of shell scripting. Second one, CI/CD pipeline. Okay, basically in CI/CD, building, test, package and deploy. We have to build the archive file. I think you are aware of this archive word, right? What is archive here? See, simple example, you have .java file, you are converting into .jar, right? So this is the archive here, okay? So this is the archive file, Java AR, JR stands for Java archive, okay? So this archive you have to build it always. So build, test, package and deploy, right? So these are important steps in the CI/CD pipelines, which you can do it using scripts like this, right? So you can we will see and understand the syntax of all these things. This is just an example to show you how we are writing the commands. So even in CI/CD pipeline, we need to know shell scripting. Infrastructure setup, right? So some tasks like installing packages, configuring services, setup environments, we do all these tasks repeatedly. Sometimes you have to install the packages, that also you can write a script. You need not type all these commands. See, sudo apt update, sudo apt install, right? All these commands, if you create a script and keep it with you, whenever you want to do some task, you can just execute this script instead of writing those commands always. So even there the shell scripting is used. Next, the most important step and very important step in shell scripting or in application of shell scripting in DevOps is monitoring and logging, right? Monitoring of the system health, okay? So basically we are deploying the applications in servers. So what is the health of the servers? We are interested to know that, okay? So for that reason, we will not be writing command like def, du, we don't do this always, and we want that in a very nice format. So we write one script and we use something called cron tab. I will talk about this. So cron tab will automatically execute. Let's say every morning 4 AM, I want you to clear my logs. I am running one application in the server. I want to clear all the logs of yesterday night. 4 AM I want to do this. So you can write a script. You can set a cron tab. So which will automatically will at 4 AM the script will be executed. It will clear all the logs. Okay, script will be executed and it will clear all the logs, right? So monitoring and logging is one important step. Okay, so I want to check the CPU usage, disk space, check whether the services are running or not. Everything I can do it using the shell scripting, right? So see, disk usage I want to know, df minus h, minus hyphen h is for human readable form, Okay, memory usage, I want to see free -m, right, like this. Even for monitoring and logging I can use this. Then the last one is backup and maintenance, right. This is also very very important. You want to take backup of the data. Okay, before clearing we will take the backups and then we will clear it. So taking backup of the log files or of the data, right, application data, all you can do it using shell scripting. You can write some script like this which will automatically backup it. See, you want to backup it every day, you can do that, right. So these are some important operations or some important tasks where shell scripting is used in DevOps. Okay, so if you see automation of repetitive tasks, installing software, deploying applications, running backups, I can use it. CI/CD pipeline, I can use this. For infrastructure setup, I can use it. Monitoring and logging, this is very widely used. People working in operations, no? People who work in operations, they use a lot of scripting. But since we are talking about DevOps now, as a developer, you have to do this task. So you should know the shell scripting. That's what, again, bash, we should know the bash commands and backup and maintenance. So this is the overall idea about shell scripting and its application in DevOps.